Distinguished adventurers, welcome to this D&D one-shot that we're doing for Extra Life. I am so excited to be able to DM for some wonderful people and raise money for an amazing cause. We're going to be introducing our players and who they are playing momentarily, but you might have an idea of what they're playing already, considering the headshots that are on the screen. First, a few things to talk about. If you would like to donate to affect this game, you can go to our Extra Life page. There are donation levels for a couple of different things. You can have our players roll on the random magic table of awesome. You can encourage one of our players to eat an object that just happens to be lying around, or you can inspire some family bickering. I'm sorry, the Tarrasque has already been taken. And if you do donate, then we're going to be so I was just told before we went live that we are now over 100,000 for lifetime donations for our Extra Life page. So if you would like to help us get to 200,000 and even more, go ahead and take a look. If you don't have any money to donate, we totally understand. That just happens. But if you can share, if you can hang out and chat, if you can just have some fun and help us out as we do this giant marathon of awesome. There's also in-game items that you can purchase for charity donations for both Bushwhacker 2, Crusaders, and Idle Champions. And the donations are all going to BC Children's Hospital. So it's all here for an absolutely excellent cause. And I think now is a good time. Don't tell us who your character is, but let's take a moment and introduce our players, and we'll go in the order that I see you on my screen. V, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey everyone, I'm V Muse. I'm the partner manager at Codename Entertainment, but you can also find me all over the interwebs as V Muse, playing in a variety of games, like Black Dice Society last night. And if you want to come and see what else I'm up to, then definitely make sure you're following me on the Twitters.
And Margaret?
Hey, I'm Margaret. I'm marketing communications here at Codename, and you can find me on Twitter at Margaret_MCN, and it's a pleasure to be here today.
And Dylan?
Hi, I'm Dylan. Most of the things that happen on the streaming channel Cine Games are my fault. And today I am playing Zeal, a cleric of Bahamut, warlock of Bahamut.
And Trevor?
Hey, I'm Trevor Bettis. I'm the community manager at Codename Entertainment because there's a theme going on here. I do too many podcasts, which you can find on my Twitter account at the Trevor. There's an A hiding in there.
And Todd.
I'm Todd Kendrick. I'm the creative manager over at Idle Champions, and I am playing my Tarrasque-born barbarian, Path of the Beast.
And if you haven't guessed already, we're all part of the marketing team over here at C&E Games. And shall we begin this ridiculous game? Perfect. You have all been summoned to dinner. And it's the kind of summons that you don't say no to, because great-great-grandmother, when she says something, you do it. And you do it as quickly as possible. So you've all shown up this evening in what you would consider to be whatever your best outfit is at her palatial mansion. The door has been opened for you by one of her many, many servants, and one by one, you are being escorted into the grand dining hall where the matriarch of your family stands at the end of the table looking severe and serious, like she always does. And so with that, we'll go in the opposite order. Marrow, as you walk into this dining room, would you please describe yourself and the dish you have brought for dinner?
I have okay. In my head canon, Marrow is like 8 feet tall and has never fit into anything in this house and has to push through, and his like little tiny spikes on his shoulders and stuff catch onto clothes and like scrape the wallpaper. And he just hulks down as much as he can to try to fit into this small space. And then he's just brought like a steaming raw heart. It's not cooked. You don't know what it's from. Maybe it's a troll heart, so maybe it's starting to regrow right now. But this is what he thinks is tasty. And that's what he's got in a little casserole dish.
And at the end of the table, your great-great-grandmother, Zemporia, the elegantly dressed copper dragonborn, does not seem surprised by this, but she gives a slight nod to the servant next to you, who produces a casserole dish of their own to take the heart and make sure that it is warmed up enough for everybody. And she gives you a pointed look at a seat at the table for you to take as Bloodfire walks on in. And what do you look like, and what have you brought to dinner?
Bloodfire is a red dragonborn in like his older teenage years. Like he's probably just on the cusp of 20. He's still in that teen zone. And he is dressed in all leathers with spikes coming off of him. He's got this face paint on that makes him look like he's got like his face is a dragon skull with glowing blue eyes. And the little like fin that goes down the middle of his head is painted blue, and so are the plumes that hang down on the back of his head. And he walks in there holding a little box that's shaped like a castle, and he goes, "Hey, great grandma. Sorry, I came from a show. I wasn't able to cook anything before the show, so I stopped at Burger Castle. I got 24 sliders. I hope that's okay. I think as long as Marrow doesn't get to them, I think it's gonna be okay."
She nods, and once again, does not look surprised by this, but nods over at one of her servants, who immediately is there with a silver platter to start unwrapping all of the burgers that you have brought and place them as elegantly as possible on this gorgeous dining room table. And she gives you a look at a seat at the table as Zeal walks on in. Same thing for you.
Walking in, Zeal is kind of a tall silver dragonborn, like very lanky, long-limbed, and I have a kind of like what looks my best clothing is like pretty ragged looking, like robes and leathers, and just kind of ceremonial. Just like images of Bahamut and stuff all over it, but not well kept because I'm clearly just busy. And I just kind of walk in, and I've got a satchel at my side, and I'm like, praise Bahamut on my way in, and then I like kind of open it up, and you see me like pull out a number of books and scrolls and like place them on the table as I'm rummaging through it, and then I kind of just like pull out a loaf of bread and put it down, and then like pull out a bottle of wine and like some like half of a roll of like brie, and I kind of put it down, and I just kind of like, yeah, that's what I got. Just like, and then I start stuffing all the notes back in.
The servant next to you is quick to help brush off some of the crumbs off of some of your books as your great-great-grandmother nods at a chair at the table for you. Kara, you walk in. What do you look like?
Kara is a emerald dragonborn and is wearing one of her sort of loose and flowy hippie dresses and one of her best cardigans, only 3 patches. She's carrying a large apple pie and sort of like curtsies at Gran. Good evening, Gran.
And she nods at you, and you find a place to put your pie out on the table. And finally, Granny, would you walk on in, please?
So the door opens, and whereas Marrow is barely fitting through the door, you actually have to look down to see this little amethyst dragonborn walking in. And she's stooped over a little bit. She has a cane in one hand and this massive, very chic shoulder bag on her other shoulder. And she's got a simple little black dress on, but this very frilly apron with ruffles up the shoulders and everything like that, and this string of pearls wrapped around her neck, and these massive glasses. And her hair's done up in this very coiffed style. It almost looks like purple cotton candy. And she toodles on in, and she just sort of waves at everyone. Oh, everyone's here. Okay, good to see you all. All right, here now. Oh, the food. 1 minute, let me make sure. And she walks up to the servant. She opens up her bag, and she pulls out this massive 25-pound turkey that is cooked perfectly, golden skin and everything, with the fixings draped around the serving platter. Here's the first one. Wait, don't you go anywhere. I know what you do. You go away before I can get the rest. No, there's more. And then she pulls another huge tray out of her bag, And it's this massive suckling pig with an apple stuck in its mouth, and it has potatoes and everything around it. All right, here's the second one. You're gonna need another. Do you have more hands? You're gonna need another hand.
No, I don't. Hold on. And they're gonna just start helping you position on the table as your great-great-grandmother Zemporia continues to stand and nods at you and indicates the final space for you to be, because while this is the grand ballroom that you are all in, the table that has been set out for all of you to sit at is exactly for 6 people.
Oh, well, here's the 7-layer dip. And she'll like shove the 7-layer dip to the servant as last bit. And she sits down. She goes, oh, hiya, Mama Zenny. How you doing, darling? It's a long time no see.
And the servants all set everything up as you all take your seats. Zemporia continues to stand behind her chair, waiting for the 5 of you to get settled, waiting for the doors to close as the room is emptied of everyone but the 6 of you. She looks down at the arrayed dishes, and as you all look over it, you all notice 2 things. One, it's almost as though she predicted exactly what you were going to bring, because everything else on the table is complimentary. Even Marrow's steaming heart has a side dish of the appropriate greens. The bread has not just your brie that you've brought, but also there's a couple of pâtés of butter and some appropriate knives. It's all been seemingly planned for, like she knew. The other thing, and you can decide how you feel about this on your own, she's taken out the good china. As you all sit down, we got a whole bunch of donations, and so we're going to start there. Oh, a strange magic comes over you, something that you've only ever remembered feeling the few times that you have ever been nearby Zemporia's patron's lair, who happens to be a giant ancient copper dragon. Something about that makes your scales itch a little bit, as all of you have rolls on the Bizarre Random Magic table, the layer action. So I need all 5 of you to roll a D100 for me so we can see what happens. And we'll start there, because the C&E Games audience has come through with rolls. So Granny, what did you get?
I got an 88, honey.
88. So one of the bags that you have brought, that you were pulling all of these amazing meals out of, one of them suddenly burps, grows teeth, and turns into a bag of devouring and tries to eat the pig that you brought.
Meryl, honey, that was your snack.
And it's trying to jump up onto the table. While you're dealing with that, Carl, what did you get?
32.
32. Ooh, you have a little bit of heartburn. And and you kind of turn to the side and grab a napkin to just daintily do a little bit of a burp. And what comes out is 100 gold pieces. Just da-ding, 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 da-ding.
That would be really cool at my next show. Can you teach me how to do that?
Do it again. It starts shaking you. More shiny.
Zeal, what did you get?
I'm worried because I rolled a 100.
Oh, okay.
It's almost always never good or really good.
It's the best and the worst ever. So I'm just going to read off what I have on this table, because I've said it before. You draw 1 card from the deck of many things. If this happens during a charity game, once you see what card you've pulled, you can choose to put it back and redraw another one. So we're going to do this.
All right, let's do it.
I wasn't expecting.
We are 16 minutes into this.
16 minutes already.
I rolled it and I was like, and I took a picture.
Yeah.
What is the biting thing on the table again, real quick?
There is, one of Granny's bags of holding has turned into a bag of devouring and is trying to eat the pig.
No.
I was fighting for it.
I want to grab it and I want it to turn it into my pet.
This is my favorite bag.
Zeal, roll a D12 for me and tell me what you get, and we'll deal with the bag of devouring in a second.
Can I pass Meryl my piggy bank for him to eat as well?
If you'd like.
Your what?
My piggy bank.
Your piggy bank?
So that you too.
I rolled a 6.
And I don't chew.
Okay.
It's just like big gulp, big space in my throat down.
Okay. As it's an interesting thing that happens because Kara has just kind of produced all of these gold pieces and is now handing over a bunch to Marrow, who is just throwing them up in the air and and then you, as this magic washes over you, you feel your pockets bulge. And as you check them, you find that you now have 25 pieces of jewelry worth 2,000 gold pieces each, or 50 gems worth 1,000 gold pieces each as you rolled the gem card, which is not the worst thing that could have happened in this game.
Why is everyone making money?
Hey,
You always been able to make money. You owe me money.
So as Zeal and Kara deal with their unexpected magical windfall and Granny is trying to restrain the bag of devouring marrow, what did you get?
I got 51.
For the next minute, everything, whether it's happy, sad, or just a statement of fact, makes you cry.
I am very sad. This is so sad. Your jewels are sad. This gold I am eating is sad. This bag of devouring is sad.
Bloodfire goes up next to Mario. He's like, do you want me to cheer you up with our new hit song, Fire, 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 parentheses, and more fire?
I don't want to be more sad.
Okay, well, there's also the Love Ballad, My Love is Like a Cone of Cold. That was pretty good. It might cheer you up.
Feelings anymore. And I look out the window and I imagine the window has started raining. In my head, it's raining.
There's a localized cloud. It's part of the layer action. There's rain just outside the window you were looking at.
I wipe my tears off with one of the severed troll hands I had in my bag.
No, Marrow, honey, we talked about this. You want to use a handkerchief? Yeah, here you go. And she'll reach up her sleeve and she pulls out a hanky and like she tries to reach up, but she's way too short. So she's like, here you go, honey. That'll help.
Reached out, I pick up Granny so that Granny can hand it to me.
There, see, isn't that better? It gets all the tears and it feels so much softer than those darn troll hands, honey.
Everyone drink. I'm now sad.
Bloodfire, what did you roll?
I got a 76.
You're
mocking me?
playing a little bit. What instrument do you have, or are you just
Yeah, no, he has his giant bass guitar that is an axe, like it is a great axe and a great bass guitar, and its name is Shredderina.
All right. As you are playing on Shredderina, trying to cheer Marrow up, trying to basically lift everybody's spirits before you're going to sit down and have this meal, the actual bass guitar starts to glow. And
whoa. It only does that when the pyrotechnics crew does it.
Well, and interestingly enough, pyrotechnics happen, and for a brief moment, all of you think that you are surrounded by fire as this bright explosion goes off. But then all of the feathers that have exploded out of your guitar just gently start to fall onto everything, and is now everyone is covered in red feathers.
I'm gonna look at the great grandma and just be, I don't. That normally doesn't happen. Sorry.
And she, after all of this, she still has this very severe, very not at all surprised look on her face, and announces in a very loud voice, I was kind of expecting all of that, so that's fine. Why don't we sit down and have a little bit of food before it gets covered in more surprises? And I can explain why I have summoned you here. And with that, she just pulls out her chair and sits.
You okay there, Ma?
I will be once everything has been settled, but I would not give you indigestion before we have eaten, so everybody have a seat and we will at least start.
Okay.
Bloodfire sits down, like kind of like slowly sets down the bass guitar. Is like, just don't do that again. That was weird. And he sits down and he kind of like trying to blow some of the feathers away.
Marrow, as you sit down, you feel like the way to get rid of this sadness inside of you is to eat one of the objects on the table. What you feel like eating? There is the good china.
I do not like being covered in feathers, so I eat Bloodfire's plate. And I eat his fork and I eat his spoon, and I do it slowly. Never taking my eyes off him.
I guess that's fair.
I am not chicken.
Oh, okay. No, didn't say you were. Didn't say you were. Sorry.
Something about the good china, it crunches really satisfyingly in your maw, and it's a little hard going down, but oh, it's nice. It's nice.
I rolled a 71.
And
Bloodfire takes out his notebook and just writes down on it, "Shards in my teeth" song.
Bloodfire, as you are writing in your notebook, and now all of your food is sitting plateless in front of you because Marrow has been eating the good china. Marrow, you also find the sight of cooked meat to be disgusting for the next 10 minutes. And there's a lot of it on this table.
Oh, I stand up. I push the table 3 feet away from me.
Why is all the food cooked? What monsters? Why would anyone do such a thing?
Do we have
Marrow?
a cat?
Marrow,
Yes.
sit down at the table. We will find you something that you find appropriate.
I want something raw.
We will find you something raw. Sit at the table. And we are going to have our family dinner.
And he sits down.
And she begins to just serve herself. And so you can all start to serve yourself of any of the food. The servants come back in as though summoned telepathically, and immediately Marrow in front of you is a whole selection of sushi and greens and all sorts of uncooked foods for your liking.
I slowly peel the salmon off the nigiri because I don't want the rice or the vegetables. Just like in.
Oh, Meryl, honey, I brought you some extra rabbit. And she'll pull out like 2 rabbits that have been strung together and tosses it onto his plate. That should hold you over for your appetizer.
Thank you, Granny.
And as you all continue to eat and grab what you can, you find that Zemporia she is eating as well, but she's studying all 5 of you intently. And every once in a while, actually, everybody go ahead and give me a perception check. Let's see what happens every once in a while.
That's an 11 for Granny. She's more
12.
concerned that.
14. Nothing escapes my notice.
9. I'm drinking wine.
It's good one.
9 wine.
Marrow and Kara, the 2 of you notice that along with studying the 5 of you, and then every once in a while eating something off of the plate, she almost instinctually glances down at her side where you notice there's a bag. And it's just sitting on the floor next to her chair, but she just keeps kind of eyeing it every once in a while as though checking it's still there. And after a few minutes of, I don't know, is it awkward meal, or are you all in silence, or is it this point that actual conversation is happening? Because she's almost glaring at all of you, but it's that intense study stare.
Oh, Granny would absolutely be chatting up a storm with each of them.
Yes.
Yeah, honey. So what have you been up to?
She has a bag. She keeps looking at it.
I whispered to Zeal, do you know why Papa wasn't invited?
And I'm just kind of like, huh? Because I'm like writing notes and doing work like on a book on my lap while I'm like drinking wine and not really paying attention.
Oh, Marcusite said he couldn't come. He had some previous engagements, and then he also seemed a little. Ma, did you forget to invite Marcusite? Because he didn't seem to know about this particular get together.
This isn't an oversight. This is intended. I only wanted the 5 of you.
Oh, this is because of what happened last winter, Shield, isn't it?
No, it's not, but we're still going to have a discussion about that at some point. No, this is something else. I might as well get on with it, considering Marrow is just going to try to eat the bag if I don't. And she reaches into the bag and pulls out a piece of paper that she kind of holds in her lap. And she says, do any of you know what tomorrow is? And if anyone would like to...
Today.
Yes, very good. But more specifically,
Fine.
if anyone would like to roll a history check, I need something
Sure.
15 and over.
Okay.
Hey, 16.
15.
18.
Efficient and an 8.
Zeal, this wine is super good. You know, everyone's talking. You're just kind of sitting back and enjoying. And Marrow, you've just been complimented by great-great-grandmother. That's, gotta feel good about that. Everybody else realizes that tomorrow is the anniversary of when your great-great-grandmother's Emporia earned the patronage of the ancient copper dragon that has given her her power. You all actually know she's a fairly powerful warlock in her own right. It's one of the reasons that she built the family up from where she started, is she was an adventurer when she was young. And she asks this and then kind of waits to see who answers.
Oh, it's your warlock celebration thing, right?
Ancient Dragon Day. Ancient Dragon Day.
Ancient Dragon Day. That's got a better ring to it. Ancient Dragon Day.
Day there, Ma.
Yes, you are correct. It is our anniversary, and as has become our custom, especially on the bigger anniversaries, the two of us are going to get together and celebrate. He has decided that he wants to go see a show in Boken, which is wonderful because that means that's a prop comedian that he enjoys. I'm sure it will be hilarious.
I opened for him once.
I hope you were paid well.
We were not.
I opened a prop comedian once.
I don't think that's what she meant there, Marrow, honey.
Was he as full of ridiculous props on the inside as he was on the outside?
Yes.
I always thought that way. Anyway, the good news is that because we are going to be going to this show, he is going to be absent from his lair. And it is time for me to finally repay his kindness. And she looks down at the piece of paper in her hand and says, he has acquired a very powerful magical item that has become one of the pieces of his star collection. And I would like you to play a prank on him by stealing it, and specifically replacing it with something else.
Wait, he has a collection of stars?
Yeah, collection of stars.
I believe it is a collection of magical items that are his star attractions, but it wouldn't surprise me if he's also got a fallen star somewhere in that layer of his. Every time I go in there, there's just something else on display that is ridiculous. But the thing I am interested in, he has a magical vessel that is quite powerful that he has been coveting for quite a while. It makes all sorts of drinks and potions, and it's right now on display in a room that is not too far from an entranceway that I can direct you to. And I would like you to go in stealthily, if possible, steal it and replace it with this. She reaches into the bag again and pulls out a jug and kind of lands it on the wood table with a thunk. And this large jug has big holes on the side that have stoppers in it. And you all recognize this as an alchemy jug. She taps the side of it with her claw and says, you're going to grab his vessel and bring it back to me and replace it on the plinth with this filled with mayonnaise, which I believe will be hysterical.
No. Gross.
That is why it's going to be funny. It is a prank. Do you not find it funny?
Oh my, it's hilarious. Such a wit.
That
Maybe
is
a little dry, but well, not the mayonnaise, but you know.
I am praised for my dry wit, of course. He will find it hysterical, and that is really all that matters. So that is what I need you to do. And interestingly enough, as soon as she puts the alchemy jug down on the table, there's another of this weird dragon magic that permeates the room. And I need both V and Trevor to roll D100s.
Oh
Okay,
no.
nice.
As more fun is about to happen.
That's a 63, and I'm scared.
I got an 83.
V, I need you to roll, or I'm sorry, Granny, I need you to roll a D4 for me.
Oh, okay. We can do a D4. Oh, look at that. It's a 4.
4 giant ostriches suddenly burst in through the door and start to run around the table, eventually stopping to crowd around you, all making ostrich noises in excitement. And
Gran, your ostrich has got
Daddy.
out.
No, Marrow, I made sure there was an extra delivery just in case you got pecked later.
Eat one.
It all.
I just grab an ostrich by the neck and I start swallowing it whole.
I'm going to need you to make a athletics check to try to grab one of these ostrich.
Ooh, pretty bird.
It's a regular attack roll.
Yeah, just give me an attack roll.
I rage.
What does it look like when Marrow rages?
It's bigger.
Like that powers up like Godzilla, like electricity starts powering through him for a moment between all of his scales.
I think Bloodfire's gonna look at me.
What is the
You
26?
ever thought
I
about
got 19 plus 7, so what does the 26 get me?
Gets you the neck of an ostrich. Go ahead and roll damage. Bloodfire, what were you saying?
Bloodfire's gonna look up at Mara. He's like, you ever thought about being a bouncer at like metal shows? Because like we could really use you.
I tried, but then people kept on going missing. I got a 6.
Oh,
Yes, this ostrich is now your dinner. And it's a good thing that the 10 minutes of feeling disgusted by cooked meat have finally passed. And suddenly everything looks good, including this ostrich. The 3 others squawk in terror and flee through a now broken window.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Imagine the neck is like, it's like spaghetti. I'm just sucking it in, and then the legs are like 2 like wandering loose pieces of spaghetti as he sucks those in as well.
And
I
they're
think
just
I'm gonna
gone.
need therapy.
Well, and what I need from Bloodfire is that D100 roll.
I pass
yeah.
Marrow some salt.
83.
You look at all this ostrich carnage and all of the food on the table, and you realize you're really, really hungry. All this talking, it hasn't been that much talking, but it's been more than enough. And you just really need to dig into stuff as your tongue grows 3 sizes its normal size for the next 10 minutes. Do with that as you will.
Well, now I'm just Gene Simmons Dragonborn now. It's official.
I am here for it.
I'm gonna try and sing some of my songs while playing the bass guitar with massive tongue.
Massive tongue. And Zeal,
Silly.
we've had a donation for you to come on in and roll on the layer action table. As
Layer action table.
That's
Is that a D100 as well?
Yes, D100. As at this point, Zemporia is going to remove the alchemy jug as though sensing that it somehow has caused this and put it back into the bag.
28.
28. It's a cacophony in here between the ostriches fleeing out the window, between Granny's bag of devouring, which is still trying to eat the pig, between everything going on with Marrow eating whatever they can get their claws on. It's just super loud. And for a moment, you really wish it would be quiet and silence. Magical silence falls in a 50-foot radius centered on you that lasts for 1 minute.
I just smile and just I'm just gonna go back to like eating and drinking wine. This is great.
Bloodfire is trying to figure out why his guitar's not making sound.
I'm
You're
pretty
just
used to this.
You're the gif without music of just the bard holding the guitar going. Candlekeep Librarian. I'm used to there being magical silence in like large stretches of area. So I'm like, oh, this is great. And for about a minute, yeah, everything is quiet. And eventually you see Zimporia move her chair back a little bit. And while you don't hear it, it's obvious that she has reached the edge of the silence. And she just kind of nods to herself and moves back and waits for it to go away and then says, well, so that's one of the problems. All of these items have been seeping in various dragons' lairs for quite a while, and they just exude bizarre magical effects. Isn't it hysterical?
Yeah. It was pretty funny. Yeah.
So funny, Gran.
Yeah.
Whatever you say, Gran.
Mm-hmm.
It is the kind of thing that my patron thought was very funny when he gave me the alchemy jug all these years ago. So I'm now returning the favor filled with mayonnaise. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
It's a regift.
I pass gas in the silence. No one knew.
Oh, honey, we knew. They're called silent but deadlies.
It was very silent. It was very deadly. So, I can give you directions for how to get into the lair as best as possible, how to reach the place where the vessel is. I would prefer that you don't actually kill anybody. If you can do this as stealthy as possible, that would be my preference. It's better for the prank. But if one of the attendants gets in your way, I know that they have access to a cleric, so it's not the end of the world, but I would prefer if in the middle of the performance that my patron didn't decide to jump up and run back to their lair. So the more stealthy you can be, the longer you will have. Do you have any questions?
Does your patron give really good benefits to their staff then?
Now, so far, it has been a jug that makes mayonnaise and magical effects.
But like, is resurrection included?
Yes, I believe so.
Oh, that's so nice.
Say, hypothetically, if one of them tries to alert everybody and I eat them and I turn them to poo, can you resurrect the poo?
I cannot.
Oh.
I believe they have access to a cleric who can, but if you're going to go in that direction, then there's going to be some uncomfortable questions afterwards that you probably don't want to answer. So I would suggest if you do run across somebody and decide to dispatch them, find something else to eat.
Bloodfire writes down excrement resurrection.
Maybe take some snacks with you for the trip tomorrow.
Oh, I'm all set for that one. I also brought Ipecac just in case.
You should have that on hand.
Oh, I've got a 2-liter bottle of it. It's marrow after all.
You should not eat the vessel.
I don't like mayonnaise anyways.
I'm not talking about the alchemy jug. I'm talking about the thing that you are getting from the lair. It is a...
Oh, I don't like vessels.
Let me show you. And she does a flourish with her hand and casts minor illusion in front of you. And the image of what looks like a fairly ornate drinking horn appears, large, made out of some sort of bone. It's a gray-white with really intricate gold filigree and a cord to hold on your shoulder that's looks like a braided leather strap. It looks expensive. And she holds out this minor illusion at all of you so that you can see it and says, this is the thing that you are trying to get. When you find it, you will replace it with the alchemy jug filled with mayonnaise and come back to me.
That would look really cool with me on stage.
Do I know
Well,
what it is?
Zeal, roll a Arcana check. Because this is kind of
7.
your wheelhouse. I'll say even with a 7, you do recognize it as a type of drinking vessel. It's along the same lines of the alchemy jug in that it makes magical things, but this one, makes potions as well as other mundane things. You don't remember exactly what, but you do remember this kind of thing is actually pretty powerful.
I've had too much to drink and I'm just like, I should know what that is.
They can make chocolate mousse.
The alchemy jug or the thing that you are stealing?
Can I have some chocolate mousse, please, Gran?
She taps the table with one of her claws, not very loud, and immediately one of the servants comes on in and leans down to you, Kara, and starts to ask, you wanted something?
Some chocolate mousse, please.
Okay. Would you like a small, a medium, a large, a grande? What are you looking for?
The grande, please.
Okay, I can do that. I can do that. And scampers off.
Wait, before you go on.
Yes.
Bring an actual moose for Marrow. He's going to hear moose and he's going to think antlers.
That may take a little more time, but I'll try. Okay. And
Thank you.
Scampers off. Meanwhile,
wait, there's a moose?
See?
Why didn't anyone tell me about the moose?
I'm working on it, dear.
Are there any other questions about this task I'm setting you on?
I mean, it seems it's just a switcheroo.
How are we getting there?
Tomorrow, when I am to meet them outside of their lair to take the journey, you are going to be my entourage. So I will transport you there, and then we will leave. You will proceed into his lair.
Entourage, I know that we have an entourage for the band. I like the entourage. Yeah, Grand, woo, yeah.
They're a lovely crew too, so polite and so thoughtful. When I met them last time, Bloodfire, you have a very good group of friends there. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Zeal.
Very nice of you to say.
Zeal, do you know what tomorrow is? It's the day after now.
Yes, it is. It usually is.
Yeah.
Way to go, Marrow.
Thank you.
And this is why I have brought the 5 of you together, because of everybody in the family. While you are all interesting in your own right, you also have some particular talents that I feel might be useful when trying to take care of this task. And you all seem to get along for the most part, so I think it will work out well. Just try not to kill each other, okay?
Yeah. I wasn't thinking about that. You guys weren't thinking about that, right? No, I wasn't thinking about that.
Absolutely not. You're all my darling dears. Why would I want to hurt any of them?
No. We don't fight after last Winter Shield. After last Winter Shield.
Yeah, Opal's still not even talking to me after that one, but that's a different story.
It was always a disappointment to pop up, but that one really cemented it.
Well, you're not a disappointment to me.
Thank you, Granny.
It's at this point that 2 servants come running back in, one that you had seen before and another one. The first one is holding what looks to be a giant bowl. It is easily about 10 cups of fresh mousse that just chocolate frothed everywhere, places down in front of Kara. The other one is leading a deer and looks over at all of you, and especially at Marrow, and apologetically says, I couldn't get a moose, but we had some deer nearby. Are you okay with the deer?
Oh, wait. Bring it over here really, really quick. And she'll prestidigitate it to look more moose-like.
Marrow, all of a sudden, this deer looks like a moose.
It's a very tiny moose.
It's a bite-sized snack, honey.
Okay. And I pick it up like a corn on the cob and I just start eating it in the center.
Roll a performance check for me.
This will be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very careful. That's a natural 20.
Bloodfire. you think this might be an amazing opening act.
I think there's some possibilities here, Barrow. Like, as long as you don't eat the fans, I think we can work something out.
What?
I'll talk to you later. Don't worry. Enjoy your meal. So I'll be over here.
Why wouldn't eat a fan?
What? No, like, you know what? I don't actually have a good answer for that right now for you. So I'm gonna go think about that over here and write down another song title idea.
Do you want moose?
I'll get some of Kara's moose. That's more my style.
It's very rude not to accept a gift.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Here.
Okay. He holds out his hands.
Here's the liver.
And I just put it against your lips.
I mean, with a natural 20 performance roll, you're able to like surgically remove pretty much anything that you need. So,
Yeah, so good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love.
Don't you? It's better if you don't you.
Mm-hmm. Raw's great.
Kara, as you dig into this other moose, whether you are excited about the chocolate mousse or you would rather join Marrow in their mousse, there's an interesting taste that kind of makes a shiver down your back, and I need you to roll a D100 as the donations just keep coming. Thank you, everybody.
Also, doing that, I'm definitely, because we're siblings, I'm just like picking some out and eating it out of her mousse as well.
I'm trying to like fend him off, but it doesn't really work. It's going to be 37.
All right. So you're trying to fend Zeal off with your spoon, and you're digging into this mousse. And the problem is, this is such a giant bowl of mousse that it's too much real estate to try to defend from your brother. And so he's able to get at it. And in one of those moments when you are finally able to focus back in on the mousse, and you take a nice spoonful, and it's delicious and creamy, and you close your eyes, and when you open your eyes, you are covered in snow.
Ooh.
And everybody looks over, and yeah, Kara is now completely buried in a giant pile of snow.
Bloodfire starts like digging through it to like get to her, and as soon as like he reveals her face, he's just like, "Can I please have some of the mousse to get this liver out of my mouth?"
Help yourself. Is my eyeliner running? Can I borrow your eyeliner to fix mine?
Yeah, no, here you go. He just hands her his eyeliner, and then just.
At the end of the table, the matriarch, still this entire time as severe and impassive as anyone could possibly be, in fact, as no one could possibly be in the face of all of this ridiculousness, she suddenly stands, and you see that her plate is clean, and she puts her napkin down on the table, and she picks up the piece of paper and looks at all of you and says, "Well, I have directions for you to reach the vessel I need you to get to tomorrow. And I think I'm going to retire for the night and let you finish this. Are there any last minute questions? Or does anybody want to take the directions?" And she holds up the piece of paper.
Take the directions, Ma. Don't worry. I'll keep them tucked safe.
She hands them on over to you and gives everyone one last look to see if there's any other questions. Marrow's over devouring a moose. Kara and Zeal are half battling over this bowl of moose. Bloodfire is kind of in the middle with a moose on one side and a moose on the other.
Bloodfire has vomited.
And prestidigitation has just automatically happened. And any other questions?
Here, do you want me to help put that back in?
No, I think
I'm
Do you
fine.
have a backup gift just in case
spilled
this little
something, yes.
trick doesn't go over too well here, Ma? Just,
Well, the bag of holding that includes the alchemy jug is right next to my chair, and you can take that because I will not be needing that bag back.
That seems fair. Yeah. I mean, it's how many years now?
I try not to keep too close of a count.
Oh, I'm sure leather is one of those years, 500 or something like that. We'll be good.
Excellent. I will leave you to it then. I will see you tomorrow, promptly at sundown in the foyer, where we will do our teleportation. Good night.
Night, Ma.
Night,
Hi,
Gran Gran.
And she sweeps elegantly out of the room, the doors opening in front of her as though by magic, probably by magic. And as they close, I need everybody to roll a D100 because the hits just keep on coming.
Oh boy.
Thank you, chat.
We already got
Wonderful
chat.
donations.
Yeah. I'm re-rolling because I know we already got that number.
All right.
there we
Kara visibly relaxes as Gran leaves. Like, phew, okay, we got through that one.
All right. Let's start from the middle here. Zeal.
87.
87. So the window to the side that all the ostrich had fled out of, that's now a broken window, you see a balloon on the horizon very quickly approach. And it must stop pretty much right over the window because then you see a rope descend and land in front of the window. And there's a basket at the end of this rope that just deposits on the ground outside the window. And then the rope is pulled back up and you watch as the balloon floats away. And there's a basket outside the window for you.
I think you got a delivery.
So suspicious. Wasn't a red balloon, was it? I just kind of like apprehensively get up from the table and kind of look around and walk over, just like lean out the window and look down to see what's in the basket.
There's a very nice lemon cake.
Oh. I just kind of pick it up and come over to the table and put it down, and I look at Kara and then I like slide it away a little bit. Just kind of like push it out so that it's just out of reach.
Ooh, can I have that?
Sure.
I eat the balloon.
Well, sadly, the balloon is gone. It was a full-size balloon. It wasn't like a little balloon. But the basket's still there if you'd like the basket.
I eat the basket.
It's basket eating 101. It's great. Kara, what did you roll?
46.
46. Okay. When you watch as Zeal moves the cake away and then moves the basket closer to Marrow, something seems to fall magically out of the side of the basket and roll in front of you. And two very large ostrich eggs are now sitting in front of you, Kara. And one of them is starting to hatch.
Uncle Marrow found your breakfast.
Ooh, newborn. What?
And the egg starts to rock. And then there's a crack in it. You're cheep, 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 cheep. And this adorable little ostrich with big anime eyes starts to crawl out of the side of this egg, newborn, all the feathers still wet. And as it uses its little legs and it tries to stand up a little bit, but it's still a little wobbly. And then it looks up at you, Kara, and it's like, cheep, 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 cheep.
Uncle Marrow, can I keep your breakfast? I'll find your new breakfast.
I help it up. I try to help it up so it can learn to walk. What should I name you?
Breakfast.
Cheep, cheep.
Cheep, cheep.
And I just gently pat it, and then I put it in my mouth.
No, Marrow, spit it out. Spit it out. It's not that. Come on.
It's like a cat
Come on.
shooting out
Right
a
here.
hairball.
No.
The first thing to come out isn't it. A couple of things come out.
She's like totally unfazed. She's like, nope, that's not what I was talking about.
The
You
hand
know
of Vecna
exact-
pops out, you know.
Okay, I'll put that in the bag. We'll keep that for later.
Yeah, and then the little baby ostrich pops out.
See, there you go. All right. Poor
It
little.
looks
It's
it looks
okay, Cheep,
freaked
Cheep.
out now. It was
Granny,
all
like-
happy when Marrow was like helping it up and petting it. And now that it's seen the inside of Marrow's mouth, it's seen some things.
She's petting it, and then she kind of like goes to the top of her head, and she like pushes a little section down, and she'll put Cheep in her hair.
And it
Yeah.
nestles down in. It's still a little damp and wet, but it seems to be comfortable. And it gives Marrow the side eye.
One
'Cause
day
you know what-
will be an adult ostrich.
Yes, but not today. Kara, honey, once this little one calms down a little bit, I'll let you, you can have it for your pet.
Okay, I won't feed that to Uncle Marrow yet.
Yeah, not yet. It's too soon.
Granny, as you settle this baby ostrich into your hair and you feel it like a cat, the little claws doing biscuits in your hair, I need to know what number you rolled.
24.
24. You need to roll a d6.
D6.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. That's a 4.
You have the hiccups for 4 minutes.
Now see, it's much better, isn't it? Pardon me. Oh, I don't think I should have eaten a 7-layer dip.
How do you fake that well?
That's really good. I am super impressed. Bloodfire, what was your number?
90.
Ooh, we're getting all the high numbers.
Uh-oh.
Marrow, as Granny is pulling stuff out of your mouth a moment ago, trying to get at Cheap, and one of the things that came out was the hand of Vecna. It's been sitting on the table. It makes a rude gesture at all of you and then immediately scuttles off the table down out the window and is gone, as literally what you rolled was the hand of Vecna appears, makes a rude gesture at you and then scuttles away.
I didn't even know that was on the table.
And Bloodfire is just be like, I need that for my show. Oh, you think Granny would be mad if I ran out of here trying to chase the hand of Vecna?
If you
Don't
don't
worry,
get
I'll
back
find
in
the rest
time
of him
again.
soon.
Can I snatch it up with the mage hand as it's trying to go out the window?
You know what? Roll an Arcana check. I'll give you a chance. Why not?
Nat 20 plus 4.
Hey now.
The hand of Vecna is now floating in a mage hand near the window. It was trying to jump out and scuttle. But
Bloodfire picks up like one of like the silver trays and like lids for it. Is just like, yeah, that's gonna be really cool for a show. I wonder if I could get it to play a guitar.
And I just
You
kind
know,
of like
I
push
just-
up my glasses. I'm like, just don't put it on.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
Where you
I
can put
hear
it
it's
on.
a set though. There's supposed to be like an eye, or maybe it's a no. No, I think it's an ear that's supposed to go with the hands.
It's an ankle Vecna.
Oh.
Marrow, as you're thinking about the ankle of Vecna, what was your... Oh, geez. I love that you had that prop ready. I love that these rolls are so appropriate.
It's gonna play guitar, and it's gonna be our new rhythm guitar, and it's gonna be so cool. We're gonna be the best band ever. Everyone will know 5-headed death breath.
Bloodfire, do you have an extra pick?
Yes,
Do you put it in Vecna's hand?
I do.
Vecna's hand looks ready to shred.
We will do everything. So happy.
This is how the apocalypse starts.
With extra life donations. Marrow, I need your D100.
21.
Oh, the other end of the spectrum. Let's see. Okay, so you were looking out this broken window as the hand was trying to scuttle out of it, as you were thinking about grabbing it before Zeal was able to grab it with the mage hand. And then you notice that there are other things falling from the sky as you watch a small pug land,
Oh,
run
Pug.
away. And then a cat, one of those orange tabbies, lands. And it begins to rain cats and dogs, literally.
I start running around, just dancing like anyone, like a child in the snow, but with my mouth just open.
Okay, I need you to roll 2d6.
We'll have to worry when he starts building a cat.
Total
boat, man.
4.
You take 4 slashing damage as cats and dogs are falling around you. They are all landing fine, confused, but as you would expect, they all have claws out and are desperately trying to grab a hold of you in a way to stop from hitting the ground. And so, yeah, you...
I just got my tongue out like I'm trying to catch a snowflake.
Unfortunately, you still have half a moose in there, and so the 1 or 2 cats that almost land in your mouth bounce off the hooves and land next to you.
I try to squish the hooves back down.
Is there anything else you would all like to do before you retire for the evening and get ready for tomorrow's trip to a dragon's lair to steal a item from them.
Oh, Granny would absolutely tuck everyone in. Like she'd be like,
And it's a bedtime story.
I like the idea that
cleaned up.
that Bloodfire still has his makeup on, and Granny is tucking him in, and just next to him on the pillow is the hand of Vecna.
Yeah,
and yeah, just we'll tuck him in there too.
Yeah, of course. It'll make me don't want the hand to get cold. That wouldn't be good.
Thank you, Gran.
Of course, honey.
The hand is still holding the pick, but now it's holding it like you would expect someone to hold a teddy bear.
It's the best game ever.
How about the rest of you? Anything else you'd like to do before? You are all given rooms in the mansion to stay for the night. All individual rooms that obviously Granny can get into and tuck you in if you'd like. It has anything that you would think to need, which is something that's just come out of my mouth, and now I'm going to have to ask Meryl what they want in their room.
Mhm.
So is there anything else that you would like to do before bed?
I'm probably fighting Kara for the top bunk in a room with bunk beds. We're just
I
arguing
sleep
about
on
it.
a bed of skulls of my enemies when I was growing up, 5 years ago, and I have a chainmail comforter.
I'm trading books with Zeal and being like, oh, okay, you finished this one? Okay.
All right, Zeal and
Oh,
Kara.
Hyperion.
Zeal and Kara, I need acrobatics checks from the two of you to see who gets the top bunk. Marrow, you notice that, it's just like you remember your room to be.
That
Those
one.
aren't the skulls of your enemies. They're like someone went down to a local big box store and okay. Well, the chainmail comforter is yours. The chainmail comforter.
Thank you, Megan.
Thank you, Megan.
Worth it.
The chainmail comforter is absolutely your original chainmail comforter from when you were growing up. The skulls are someone went down to the local big box store and got replacement skulls, obviously, and you'd remember this now. Oh, someone threw away your old skulls when you went off to college. But the chainmail comforter is still there. I need a screenshot of this. I need a screenshot of you in the giant blanket. Azil, did I hear you get a natural one?
Got a 3.
It looks like we both got 3s, but mine was a nat 1.
I'm
Okay.
just not very strong. We're the bookish side of the family.
Yeah.
The
Apparently, I'm not so good at it either.
the fight to get onto the top bunk is the most pathetic. Maybe it's because you don't actually want to hurt each other. And the last time you did this, you were kids, and now you're adults. And so it's a little bit more like, I remember roughhousing with you, but now I'm actually worried about like my sciatica. And so it's like play pushing, and Zeal doesn't even get within 5 feet of Kara when he is like, and so Kara, you're just able to finally climb up the side and get into the top bunk.
A pout.
Granny will knock on the door.
Hi, Granny.
Are you two settled, all nice and tucked in?
I'm on the top bunk.
Oh, right.
I climb into the bottom and I cast Tiny Hut. It's like,
God.
dome it
God.
off.
Hey,
Is it like
listen,
the tiniest of huts? It's like bunk size hut.
well,
um,
listen, I know how much you like your who gets the top bunk.
Thing, and she'll walk over and she presses what looks like a knot on the side of the wood, and the bunk bed starts to slowly do like a rotation thing. So it switches who gets top bunk, and it like changes it up like every couple of minutes or so.
There you go. Now you get top bunk when every so often.
This like domed tiny hut is just kind of like moving around attached to it.
I love it. Granny, as you are leaving and Kara and Zeal are enjoying this moment, Kara, you feel like you need to get in the last word. You need to get in the last jab, as someone has donated for you to instigate a squabble. So in these last few minutes before bed, even though you kind of won, you still have to get in the last word.
Zeal, how's your thesis going?
You just hear whimpering. just like you can kind of like, when you like listen up against the door and you can hear somebody upset on the other side, like you like put your hand on the tiny hut dome and you can just hear it's fine.
You know I defended last week and they didn't ask for any revisions?
Oh. Like
Zeal, take
you don't
1d6
hear any-
psychic damage. Oh my. Oh. That was
3.
You take 3 psychic damage from that.
That was
Holy
more
cow.
upsetting than Marrow ripping open a stand-up comedian full of props.
Yeah.
I was
Oh.
gonna make a heron gone carrot top joke there, but
And it is with that you all gently fall asleep. Zeal taking an extra few minutes to mull over the stasis of his thesis, Granny to tuck herself in, and all of you get a nice long rest. And we're going to take a little tiny break. We're going to take a little 5-minute break, get a chance to stretch, get some water, and prepare for the next day when our family members, our siblings and family members are being sent into an ancient dragon's lair in order to recover a dragon vessel and replace it with mayonnaise. If you are hanging out with us in the chat, thank you very much for joining us. We will be back in about 5 minutes. And don't forget, you can still donate to the Extra Life page in order to keep those rolls coming and keep doing things and awesome things for the kids. So we'll be back shortly.
Aye.
Okay.
God damn it! God damn it!
That roll for Welcome back to Dragons for Dinner. Welcome back, distinguished adventurers. Welcome back to this ridiculousness and all of the wonderful donations that you have all been giving for Extra Life. We appreciate it. Every time I see that total go up, it makes me super happy because then y'all have to roll on the 100 magic item table that makes all the ridiculous things happen. So definitely keep those donations coming. If you don't have any money to donate, thank you for being in chat. Thank you for spreading the word. And thank you for hanging out with us during this C&E Games Extra Life extravaganza. We're going to jump back into this game. It is magically the next evening because it's a one-shot and it's easier to just skip ahead. You are all once again standing in the grand foyer of your great-great-grandmother's mansion in whatever attire you feel is correct to go delve into a dragon's lair. Who has the bag of holding that includes the alchemy jug?
Bloodfire can carry it.
Okay. And I have to ask, is the hand of Vecna hanging out on your guitar?
Oh, no. The hand of Vecna's on my shoulder with its pick that it loves very much.
Okay. Good to know. All right. You are all waiting there for her in your ready state as she appears, and she's not wearing armor, but she is in what looks like a armor-inspired dress. Like someone took probably what she used to wear as leather armor and crafted this elegant black dress for her, and has a shawl and a little bag and is holding her giant staff and walks up to where all of you are standing on the marble floor and says, "Good evening. Did you have a good rest?"
Yes, Gran. Thank you for the nice place to sleep.
Thank you, Gran. Gran, where do you get your shawls? They're really lovely.
I have someone in town that I commissioned them from. When I see you after the performance tonight, I'll go ahead and give you their information. Maybe if you stick around for a few days, we can go take a trip.
Thanks, Gran. Kara's very nervous about spending so much time with Gran alone.
You're looking good, Ma. That color suits you.
Thank you. I always thought that black was an appropriate color for going to the theater, even if it is going to be the prop comic.
I mean, it's classic.
Agreed. Well, if you are all ready, I will teleport us there. We should have a few moments for me to point out the entranceway you will be going into. And then I will go and keep my patron distracted. Any questions? No? Good. And she takes her staff and slams it onto the marble floor, and from it extend out concentric rings that are filled with runes that light up. Zila, I'd say you recognize this teleportation spell just as you all disappear. And a second or two later, appear again on top of a green hill just at sunset, looking across a gorgeous landscape of trees and fields. The sun is in the distance in reds and oranges across a brilliant clear sky, and it's just an absolutely lovely sight. Doesn't seem to be anywhere where a dragon would lair, but she holds out a hand and points to one of the nearby, you would think it was just a hill, but she points to it, and she points specifically to a batch of rose bushes that you see all blooming in yellows. And she says, "That's where you need to go. Just walk straight forward and you'll end up in the first tunnel. And hopefully you will have no issues from there." Any last questions?
What is it about the spell that I recognize?
Just that it's the spell teleport. It's a teleportation spell. You know, you being all learned and stuff. As you all think for a moment, and Zeal is pondering the magic that just happened before you, you hear the beating of massive wings through the air, and those of you who have horns feel them tingle with magic and a weird weight in the air as you look around and you don't see anything, but you hear the approach of what could only be the patron of your great-great-grandmother, the ancient copper dragon that has been giving her his power all of these years. And then suddenly he's there. There's this boom as the landing shakes off the invisibility, and before you, resplendent in copper scales and a bright smile, is this absolutely gorgeous but terrifyingly large dragon. And he looks over all of you and smiles and looks down at Zemporia and opens his maw, and you hear, "Oh, golly, I'm so excited to be able to go to the show. This is going to be so much fun." Did you bring the tickets? You brought the tickets, right? You remember the tickets? Was I supposed to get the tickets? Oh, was I supposed to? No, wait, you have the tickets. You have the tickets. Yeah, you have the tickets, right? And your great-great-grandmother continues to stand there unfazed and says, "Yes, Lakamirgoth, I have the tickets. They're in my bag. We can go whenever you are ready. My family has escorted me here." And in the middle of her sentence, this ancient copper dragon reaches out a claw and grabs her and says, Good. Let's go. Hi, everybody. It was very nice to meet you.
Hi.
I am having a panic attack.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's me. I tend to, that's my fault. I'll get out of here and you'll feel better. Let's go. And whoosh, giant wings push you all back as this ancient copper dragon rises into the sky, holding in one of their claws your great-great-grandmother, who, everybody roll perception checks. Actually, insight checks. Give me insight checks.
That's a nat one for me for a total of 3.
Dude, wow. 21.
7.
Also 21.
And Bloodfire?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. 16.
Okay. Kara, first, I gotta know, with a nat 1, why do you fail to see what's just happened? Like, what's distracted you?
There's a shiny rock on the ground.
Ooh, you're looking in the direction that your great-great-grandmother had pointed and got distracted by a rock. Granny and Bloodfire, you don't notice anything except for whatever you feel about the situation that's just happened. Zeal and Marrow, for the briefest of moments, just blink and miss it as this copper dragon reached out and plucked your grandmother from the ground and started to fly. There was a moment in where she looked maybe a little shocked. Maybe there was a smile. Maybe. And they start to fly off towards the west and eventually shimmer and disappear.
Why did Grandma smile?
That doesn't happen, Uncle Marrow.
Sounds like a trick of the light.
Hmm.
I saw it, but I totally don't believe it. And pull up my glasses and clean them.
She is a mimic.
I don't think Gray Rand's a mimic.
Maybe
Wait,
she is a gibbering mouther.
She smiled?
Yes.
Oh, that means winter's coming sooner than we expected then.
Oh.
And I eat the rock that Kara was looking at.
Can you put it in the piggy bank?
I am the bank.
I would like to know if Zeal ate 2 things. Does he have enough? Do they have enough control over their stomach to be able to put one thing inside of the other? I'm gonna have to think about that. Zeal, meanwhile, while I'm thinking about that, we've gotten some donations. I need you to roll a D100 as something about taking off your glasses at not believing the smile you just saw has made some of this wild magic happen.
97.
Oh, here we go. Everyone, you've rolled for an everyone. Everyone must speak in a silly accent for 10 minutes.
What is
Yarr.
this?
Why is this suddenly happening, Zeal? What have you done to
Yar, I
us?
don't know.
Zeal, turn it off. Zeal, turn it off.
Zeal.
Guys,
What
I'm
is
really
your-
scared about what's going on. Is everything... Why do I sound like this?
Oh, it's just probably something that's going to fade out after a bit. I won't worry just a touch. No, darling, it's going to be just fine. Not to worry, not to worry.
What? What is happening?
Dylan, this is the best roll ever of all time.
Once again, what is that roll?
That was a 97. Everyone must speak in a silly accent for 10 minutes.
Oh, God.
I'm keeping an eye on the time.
I looked at the clock.
Important. I would like to
Bye-bye.
eat something now.
But let's get to the studio. This could be great.
Right,
It's
right.
your
the
next
sooner we-
hit single.
Yeah, let's get that. The sooner we get this out the bag and put it where it needs to be, we can grab the other thing. I'm sure this will all just pass over, darlings. Not to worry, not to worry.
All right, what would you
You
like
all
to do?
sound silly. Especially you, Zio.
Hang on. I need to see if this still works. Acid blood! No, it doesn't sound right. I hate this.
Acid blood! Acid blood! Acid blood!
That actually does.
Oh, it could be like a Blood Pies version.
I sound very intimidating.
Bloodfire, roll a performance. Check at disadvantage.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna see if I roll a 1. No, I do not. That is a 7.
Yeah, this voice just doesn't work with the music. That you're gonna have to become like a children's songwriter. That's the only way it's gonna work.
No.
We must go into the dragon's lair, and if we meet anybody who tries to stop us, I will devour their skulls, their neck, their torso, and their tiny little feet. But only if I have to.
Now, Grandma said no eating.
The blood of my enemies will pour down my teeth.
Grandma is the only person we're scared of in the family, right?
She said,
There be no eating any of the volunteers working in the vault.
why do you sound like a pirate?
I don't.
Why do you sound? Well, no. Why you sound like a demented hamster?
All hamsters are demented.
This is the rest of the game. Sorry, everybody. I'm just the next hour is this.
Do not laugh at me. I am a Trask. I am very important.
It is at this moment.
I am the destroyer of worlds.
As Marrow mentions the Tarrasque,
Oh, shit.
there is another giant noise. The ground shakes, and you all feel that oppressive magic roll over you. But this time, there's a fear involved. This time, there is a terror that comes with this. And you all look over as the trees are being pushed aside, as this a being even larger than the copper dragon that just spirited away your great-great-grandmother pushes its way through the forest, giant red snout pulling up trees out of its way, as the wingless one, the endless hunger, the slumbering midnight snack of doom, the Tarrasque itself appears. Poof, poof, poof. And she runs up to Marrow and puts her face right next to Marrow's face and says, "Son?"
There can only be one Trask.
Well,
I don't know who you are.
I'm your mother.
No.
I am. The resemblance is uncanny. I lost you when you were young, when you were just an egg and were taken and raised by these wonderful dragon creatures. I don't know, but look at us and the rest of you as you look. It is very clear, especially from the profile, this Tarrasque and Marrow. Yeah, they're related.
I see the resemblance.
Can we
I'm
tell
5
you?
years old. When will I be this big?
Truly, the resemblance is uncanny.
Ignore the pirate dragon.
You need a good 300-400 more years before you get to my size. Absolutely.
How many yesterdays is that? Or tomorrows?
300 to 400.
When can we destroy the world? I
mean,
mean,
You
when can we destroy the world?
We still heard that.
listen. I know I've been. I know that you were. I know I was absent, but there's a few things that I need to tell you about. And she ushers you with her snout away from the others and says, all right, listen, that whole world destroying thing, I don't know who started that, but listen, you don't want to destroy the world. Everything is really yummy to eat. If you destroy the whole thing, then there's nothing left to eat. So when you get older, big, powerful, scary, so you can eat anything you want and nobody is going to stop you, but don't actually destroy the world, okay?
You never showed up to my baseball games.
Were you a shortstop? What were you playing?
I was a catcher.
I would catch the ball with my mouth.
And sometimes he forgot to give it back.
That can happen. That's a hazard of being a Tarask. Okay. Well, listen, I wasn't expecting to be here. I somehow just ended up here, which sometimes happens. There's some weird magic in this area. I'm going to come on your birthday and on several major holidays and make sure I give you some gifts. And I'll be back in a little while, okay?
Fine.
I feel like I can make sure we have a nice little room well, not little, big room pulled together for you. You're welcome to stay the night if you want.
Mammoths. We could have mammoths for Mom.
I will get the mammoth. That's a very good idea, darling. Oh, and I'm Granny. Nice to meet you.
It is nice to meet all of you. Thank you for taking such good care of what was your name again? I'm sorry. I mean, I called you, but what do they call you?
Oh, he's Marrow.
Okay.
My name is Marrow.
Oh, that's lovely. That's absolutely lovely. Go eat a mammoth for me. I didn't want to interrupt, but I just ended up here and I saw you and I felt like, well, it was time. Don't destroy the world. Okay, goodbye, everybody. And she turns and waves with one of her giant front claws because Tarasks kind of have that T-Rex thing going on, and turns and douche, awkwardly goes back into the woods.
Goodbye, Leander of Worlds.
That was so embarrassing.
And I would have made that happen at the end, except you know what? If you're going to call out a Tarask, you're going to summon a Tarask.
If you say it 3 times.
Yeah,
Oh
sure.
boy.
You say it 3 times, then 3 Tarasks appear, and they start a quartet with you.
The summoning has just gone out of control.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, suddenly you are now alone without any giant dragon-like creatures nearby. What would you like to do?
I lay out in the footprint of my mom's footprint, just trying to figure out okay, so 400 years. And I just stretch out in the footprint. It's like a snow angel.
I will be, this is what everyone, I will be this kind of foot.
That's right.
I'm
you're
foot
growing
sized
boy.
right now.
Look at you growing boy.
In 4 months, I will be this big.
Oh, honey, no. Oh,
4 months!
No, not exactly. It's going to be more than 4 months. It's going to be many, many 4 months put together.
How do you put together a month?
Tell you what, let's just take it day by day and snack by snack.
Let us steal from this dragon. They are clearly weak.
Well,
My
let's
mother
do
is
this
superior.
Remember what your mother said, though. Get nice and big and strong. If you do something here with the dragon, that may not happen.
I've gone to investigate these yellow roses.
You've noped out? All right.
Of the Tarask, yes.
Okay. I mean, that's fair.
It's
That's
sidestepping slowly away the whole time. Then
I mean, are you noping out of the Tarrasque or are you noping out of really awkward family reunions?
Yes.
Fair enough. Give
Both.
me a perception check.
12.
With a 12, it takes you a moment or two because it is a very large batch of bushes. You know that you were told there's some place that you can just kind of get through. And the first couple of times you reach out a hand and carefully touch, nope, that's real. Nope, that's real. Nope, wait, let me look. And then hand just kind of completely goes through an illusion of rose bushes.
And I'm just kind of like, yar, the entrance be here. Oh, that's so much better.
And yes, your silly voice's time has expired.
Oh no, now my voice is soft and weak.
Thanks, Tiamat. That was so bad.
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3.
My
Is that what
voice
I'm like?
is deeper than yours, Bloodfire.
Lena Wilcar,
I know.
Did he just say thank Tiamat?
Bloodfire, we talked about this. We have no Tiamat worshippers in this family. It's Bahamut or bust.
Well, listen, it's kind of hard to believe in that when one of your most popular songs is Bahamut Sucks. So, like, ugh.
You should listen to other music, like Cry for Justice.
Or Cradle of Filth. The cradle's not actually filled with filth, though.
Oh, that's good. That'd be dreadful.
That'd be disgusting.
Yeah.
You know,
Meanwhile,
Bloodfire,
your arm
in
is
this
still
light,
halfway.
I can see your skull.
Zeal, your arm is still like you're holding out your hand into a illusory rose bush.
I just kind of.
Hey, that's really weird.
I mentioned to Kara, I'm like, even when I cast tongues, I don't understand Cradle of Filth.
Who can cast tongues?
And then I just step into the bush.
All right.
Bloodfire walks up to Mara and he's like, I think that's when you have like a bunch of dried tongues and you throw them out and you're supposed to like read something from it. I don't know.
I hate tongue. I always leave the tongue. Everywhere I go. Did he just get eaten by that bush?
I'm now picturing back in the dining room. There's a moose tongue. There's an ostrich tongue.
There's a
and
Vecna tongue somewhere.
Perhaps. Oh, that reminds me,
Wait.
Granny, have you brought Cheap Cheap with you on this adventure?
Oh yeah, Cheap's still sitting like in the nest in her hair that is all fluffy and whatever because she knows that Meryl won't eat her.
After the encounter with the Tarrasque and the dragon, and then yesterday with almost being eaten moments after being born, you sense that this ostrich has just kind of nested into your hair and nothing startles this ostrich anymore. It's like I've been alive for 24 hours and I've already seen some stuff.
You will be an adult soon.
Give it some time there, Nat. Well, not quite yet. Kara, after we're done with this one, I'll let you have Cheap. It's just for now. And she kind of eyes Meryl. His appetite's been a little voracious lately.
Do you have an antipasto?
I'm never voracious.
Oh, and she'll pull an antipasto out of her bag of holding and pass it around.
Just in case anyone wants a little nosh.
I take the board and walk into the bush through following Dylan.
All right.
Bloodfire kind of like looks over the hand of Vecna and they give a little nod and they walk in.
I also walk in. And I say it as I do so.
More dramatic that way. Way more dramatic. Granny, you are left for a moment outside of this illusory rose bush as Cheap up in your hair. Cheap.
What's wrong there, honey?
Oh, you get the sense this baby ostrich that has seen everything at this point is just now ready to party. Let's do this.
You got it, babe. Let's go.
All right. You walk through the illusory rose bush into the basic outside of this hill. It is a giant cavern that winds its way before you, obviously large enough for, say, an ancient dragon. And after a few twists and turns through the dirt, you reach a section where it goes off in two different directions. And Granny, go ahead and roll a history check.
Plus. Oh, well, that actually isn't too bad. That's going to be a 15.
It is at this point that you remember that great-great-grandmother's Emporia did give you a piece of paper with some instructions.
I got the map. Here we go.
And she'll pull the map out and she hands it automatically to Kara.
You're much better with directions than I am. I tend to go north when you're supposed to go south.
You take the... So it's a piece of paper, but it's not a map. It is a list of directions. And what you see written on there, in your great-great-grandmother's very neat handwriting, you see follow the tunnel until it splits, take the right passage, take the next right, ignore the chest, follow the hallway, duck as necessary, 25 feet down the hallway, stop and look to your left. There's a secret passage on that wall. And that's all that's written there.
All right, so we're gonna want to go right. And okay. And then
I put that into the
right.
backstage chat for you because
Thank you.
I figured y'all could use a written reminder, and you have it on a piece of paper. So
we're gonna go right again, and there's gonna be a chest, but we need to ignore the chest. Grand said ignore the chest.
We grab the chest.
No. Grand said ignore. I'm scared, more scared of Grand than you.
Meryl, you want the chest. The chest is the best thing you've ever seen. It has no food whatsoever in it.
Wait.
We're waiting.
So I want the chest or I don't? Are you trying psychic things on me?
Sometimes it works, but every so often it doesn't quite take. Tell you what, why don't you give me your hand as we walk through the hallway?
I'm too smart for your evil psychic powers
You're
to work on me.
You are so smart. You're just the brightest bulb in the bunch. Absolutely. I mean, look at when you smile; it practically lights up the room. You got a little something right there, though. You got a little moose fur right there that you got to take care of. You didn't brush your teeth last night, did you?
Is at this point you've made the right. That is the first right in your directions. And these hallways are fairly plain. It seems to be just some really nicely carved out stone. And you reach another section where you can go to the right or to the left. And you do notice to the left, there is a passage that ends in the dead end has a massive heirloom chest closed at the back of it. And there are signs above it. Signs that seem to be lit with some sort of magic because a few of them are blinking. Some of them have like sparklers coming off of them. And all of them in Draconic read some version of chest here. Open for fun. Looky, looky, looky. And they're all arrows pointing at this chest. And
lie to me. It says there's fun in that chest.
Uncle Maro, I am more scared of Grand than I am of you, and that is saying things.
The sign says fun. It glows. Glowing signs are never wrong.
Uncle Maro.
What?
Grand.
Big chest.
Grand said no.
Cold
Grand is
chest.
scarier than you. I'm not letting you touch the chest. Grand is scarier than you.
What if you go ahead and I go get the chest?
No.
I'm going to be very big one day. It will be fine.
That won't be for a while, and Grand has powers.
I have the literal hand of Vecna on my shoulder, and I don't trust that chest at all.
The literal hand of Vecna on your shoulder, still holding the pick, points at the chest, makes a rude gesture, and then scampers back down your back so it's not looking at it.
I will agree for the moment not to grab the chest that clearly has fun inside.
All right, you're walking by the chest?
Oh man, I'm trying to figure out the impulse control of this dude.
Aunt Maro, look, I got this nice slab of steak right here for you.
And she pulls this massive bit of meat out of her bag of holding, and she's like waving it in front of his nose.
Look, see, it's been aged to perfection.
I rage. I bound after it.
All right. I'm assuming you're heading down the right passage while Marrow is bounding after Granny's steak.
Mhm.
Okay. So I'm gonna say Granny and Marrow are probably in the front. So I need the two of you to make perception checks. Marrow, I'm gonna say at disadvantage because you are raging after a steak.
It's a 15 for Granny.
Okay.
14.
Perfect. Granny, you're looking forward and looking back and looking forward and looking back and holding the stake, and you look down the tunnel and something out of the corner of your eye makes you remember something that was on the piece of paper. And just before you enter this next part of the tunnel, you stop because there's something across the tunnel. It's almost invisible. It's almost like spider webs, but it's thicker than that, and it kind of shimmers in the light. Marrow, unfortunately, is really interested in the stake, and you charge forward, grabbing the stake to, I'm assuming, eat. And as you continue, your momentum pushes you forward, and all of a sudden, it's like you've hit an invisible sticky wall. You're putting the stake into your mouth, and then all of a sudden, and your muzzle and your hands are like stuck to something. And it takes a little bit to pull yourself off, and it kind of, and you notice in the entire hallway in front of you, kind of at head and chest height, there are these strips across the tunnel that seem to have a sticky substance on them.
Gross. I breathe fire.
Okay. Your
You made me sticky string.
Your steak is now perfectly cooked.
Oh, no.
And you see as most of the sticky tape across this entire tunnel goes up in flames and kind of leaves this weird plasticky smell in the tunnel. But the way before you is now clear.
Do you want my steak? It's ruined.
Oh, thanks, Uncle Marrow.
Here you go. Sorry that it's burnt.
Oh, no. You got a nice medium rare on this?
I know. It is also disgusting. You are being kind.
Bloodfire. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Remember when you got that well done, like a month ago, and that was just too much? And like, this is still salvageable.
Bloodfire, as you watch all of this happening, as the hand of Vecna with its pick crawls back onto your shoulder. I need you to roll a D100 because it's time. Thank you to everybody who's been donating to our Extra Life page to make all of this ridiculousness happen. I really appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
We appreciate you. It's great.
I never would have thought I'd end up with the hand of Vecna holding a guitar pick on my shoulder, but here we are.
But here we are.
I always knew.
That's 59.
59. Ooh, the left side of your body turns a lovely, glittery lavender color.
The left side of my body.
The left side of your body.
Whoa.
What color Dragonborn are you again?
Red.
So now right side's red, left side's this gorgeous, glittery lavender color.
I think I could work with it. Can I pull this off? This is like a thing.
Or like an Easter egg.
Absolutely. It suits you, but I'm a little biased.
And she rubs her own purple toned skin.
As soon as he hears Marrow say, "You look like an Easter egg," no, I don't. And remember, I have an alchemy jug full of mayonnaise, which you hate, which is why I got the sliders without mayonnaise.
I turn and I look, and I'm just like, and then I turn away quickly.
You look like a children's toy.
No. We're gonna call you Ziggy Bloodfire now.
Ziggy Bloodfire. Ooh.
Wait, are you a vampire now since you are glittery?
And he turns to the hand back. Do I have any fangs? And they're just all sharp teeth.
You always have.
The hand of Vecna gives you a thumbs up.
Oh, cool. Yeah. No, I guess, yeah. I'm a vampire, dragonborn, hand of Vecna friend, glittery metal dude.
Children's toy.
I'd also like to thank all of
I
you
think
for
you're-
letting me say the sentence, the hand of Vecna gives you a thumbs up. Zeal, what was it you were going to say?
I was just gonna say he's heading into his glam metal phase.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
I have new song titles.
Awesome.
Oh, that's good, darling.
Ground control to Major Bloodfire.
Okay, poison for breakfast in space.
While he's writing down some new song titles, everybody else give me investigation checks, since Bloodfire is busy crafting a new persona and a song list.
13.
19.
Granny got a 4.
Marrow?
4.
Okay.
I notice that these walls are very boring.
They're so boring that you don't notice the thing that only Zeke notices. Which is, once again, Zeke, you're thinking about the instructions on the note and where you're supposed to go next. And you look down the hall to the left, where all you've been told is there's a secret passage somewhere on that wall. And it's interesting. You notice that the rock pattern repeats in a very weird way, as though someone had taken the rock wall and like copy pasted it onto the next part of the rock wall, and then copy pasted it onto the next part of the rock wall. It's just all the same pattern over and over and over again in this one area, about 25 feet down on your left.
Like being in a Wolfenstein just level.
Yes. Yep. You're about to find the invisible wall. You're gonna go up against the wall, and you're just gonna hit spacebar a lot until you find it.
Yep. Keep doing it until it's like. And then there's a guy with a minigun on the other side. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. Actually, no, not in this case. As you come up against the side of this wall where it's an exact copy of the wall before it, you put your claws on part of it, and that's stone. You put your claws on the next part, and they dig in. Even though it looks like stone, they dig in like dirt, but not exactly like dirt. And you pull your claw away and take a sniff, and it's sweet. You realize that this part of the wall is made out of fudge.
And I just turn and I turn to Marrow. I'm like, chocolate wall?
Gross. That comes
Kara.
from beans.
Look at Kara. Chocolate wall?
Kara pulls out a spoon.
I breathe fire.
Oh, thanks. Fondue. Thanks, Uncle Marrow.
All right, so Kara is eating and Marrow is burning the
Yep.
fudge.
Yeah, black pudding. It's a mimic.
Marrow, go ahead and roll damage on your fire breath. Kara, I need a Constitution saving throw.
Oh.
11.
Let's see what happens with Kara too, because the two of this is happening at the same time.
6.
Excellent. Marrow, you basically melt a hole through this wall. It's not very thick, but it was kind of dense as far as the fudge goes. And you're able to make a nice sized hole that you think you could all at least crawl through, if not maybe dig out a little bit more. Kara, you go to town on this fudge. It's delicious. You think this might actually be your great-great-grandmother's fudge recipe. It's got a hint of cocoa in it, and it's flaky, and it's delicious. And that's a lot of sugar. That's so much sugar. That is more sugar than you should really have. And you're going to be kind of hyper for a little while. You're on a sugar buzz. Mm-hmm. Yep. Lots of sugar.
You have had too many carbs. You look jittery.
Yeah.
But you
Too many
do
carbs
notice,
is my other band name.
you
Have
do
you
notice.
heard of
Love it.
keto?
It's my favorite band. I can only listen to them every so often though, because just the bloating afterwards. You do notice as you are digging into this wall that now that Marrow has burned a hole through it, that you can see through the other side, there is a room, a fairly large cavern with a giant hole leading straight down.
I think this is a secret passage, guys, but it looks like we're going to have a slide that goes down. The slide that goes down Did we bring like a carpet or anything or a parachute? Zeal. Have you talked to?
Are you getting a little, Kyra, honey? I'm worried you might be getting a sugar high from all the chocolate.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine.
Honey,
you can't take them all from me.
I'm not gonna take. And like Granny will raise her hand up and kind of like just pat Kyra's cheek and just do calm emotions to counteract the sugar high happening.
You're giving me a second panic attack.
I love this so much. Okay, Kara, you can choose to fail your saving throw, or you can choose to make the save. Which would you like to do? Okay.
Is this like going down the tunnel? Because I mean, if it's my sibling, she's like thinking about it. I'm like, huh, and I would just push.
I love this. Okay, yes. So you get to kind of the edge of this chute. You feel the calm emotions come over you as you've been kind of antsy at the edge of the chute. And then it's that perfect moment where you have just enough caffeine in your system to feel awake and alert, but not so much to be jittery. And you have this blissful, perfect moment of, oh, this is nice, before your brother pushes you in the back and you go sliding down the tunnel.
That's fun. I push Zeal.
I just go belly first down. Yeah.
Yep.
You did the thing that you did to her.
Do the rest of you follow?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Bloodfire is gonna go down still like this. Just that would be really good. Yeah, just sliding down the way.
All right.
Meryl,
Would
honey.
you like to be pushed?
No, can I actually piggyback instead, honey? Because the bumps.
No. My back hurts a lot. Ooh.
What did you? I don't want to know. You go first, and I'll take.
No, it's okay. You can go ahead. I'll be right behind you, making sure no monsters attack you.
I don't believe you.
Why?
Because it's you, darling.
I push her. Can I make a attack roll on Granny?
I was gonna say, Granny.
Not in a mean way, just a gentle.
Just a gentle.
Can I make an attack roll on Granny? Not a bad way.
When I gave you the hand of Vecna, I thought we'd end up here. Granny, are you going to give in to this, or would you like to resist being pushed?
And she's this little 4 foot nothing, and he's an 8 foot. She'll go like,
I'm gonna remember this when you get hungry.
All right, Marrow.
Everyone is already at the bottom. It will be soft.
Okay, and you follow?
No, I'm going after the chest.
I knew it.
Yeah,
I knew it.
All right.
That's why.
They did not want me to find the fun, and I am going back for
I'm
fun.
so happy. Marrow turns around and heads back towards the shiny chest. We're going to get to you in just a second. The rest of you come down at the bottom of this slide and land gently. And I'm assuming all of you step side, move out of the way. So the person behind you, just like good etiquette at a playground, and where once you're at the bottom of the slide, you move so you don't get feet in your back.
When Bloodfire hears, I'll remember this when you're hangry, he's just gonna hold out his arms to catch Granny.
And I'm gonna say you do, because it's adorable. I'm gonna say not only do you hold out your hands, but the hand of Vecna crawls down your arm, and so there's like 3 hands there to grab Granny as you lightly land in Bloodfire and Vecna's arms.
Oh, thank you, Puddin'. You're such a good boy. Oh, and you too.
And she kind of like gives the hand to Vecna like a little scritch on the back of the hand.
It does that thing that dogs
Let's just
do.
get scritches.
Where
Just get scritches.
the new name of this episode. You know that thing that dogs do when you get them right in the nice spot behind the ear, and their back leg does this?
It's just
Vecna's thumb. All right, well, that's happening, Marrow.
It passes out.
Marrow, you head back to the chest.
Yes.
Do you open it?
Marrow walked back valiantly, fooling his family, speaking out loud so the cavern knew not to mess with him. He read the signs that told him only the truth, and then walked into the room, towards the chest, full of goodness and joy.
And?
I bite the chest.
Okay. You bite it, you hear crunch. And as you rip a piece off of this massive heirloom chest, you also hear, and there's an explosion of air. And you have to close your eyes against it because it's kind of right in your face. And as you're finishing chewing on the side of this chest, you open up your eyes and you see that there is glitter and confetti falling from everywhere as the chest has, the trap has gone off and exploded. And you are now covered in rainbow glitter.
A vampire. This is the skin of a killer. As if you could run from me.
I open the chest. Is there
You finish chewing on the side of the chest and you open up the top and you see the expended bit of trap that was on the inside holding the bags of glitter and confetti.
I have been betrayed. There is no fun inside this chest.
That is a matter of opinion. Meanwhile, down at the bottom of the chute, the four of you stand in no longer a roughly hewn cavern or winding areas. You're on a very nice marble floor in what looks like the room of a mansion, big enough for an ancient dragon. At the other end, from where you've slid in, there are two massive double doors that are open. And you can see down that way is a hallway extending for hundreds and hundreds of feet. But around you are, against the wall, pillars, plinths of multicolored marble that are wreathed in fire. And at the top of each one, there seems to be an object sitting. You see a bunch of different things. You see the list that I have to pull up here really quick in order to be able to give you. You see one of them has a bag on it that seems to be fairly unremarkable, but you know, it's just a bag. You see a why can't I find my list of fun things? You see a bunch of things, but I will say, while I look up my list of fun things, you do notice the horn, the vessel that your great-great-grandmother had said to go acquire at the far end on the left-hand side, sitting on its own plinth.
The X marks the spot, kiddos.
I kind of like look around the room and then I just as a ritual start casting detect magic on myself.
Okay. For the sake of the fact that we're getting towards the end of this game, I'm going to make life easy and I'm going to say that the ridiculous layer magic goes off and you're able to cast detect magic as a ritual immediately.
Okay.
So a bunch of things ping. Every single item on any of these plinths ping with multiple pieces of very powerful magic. And the plinths themselves, the fire around them is magic fire. It is real fire. It will burn you, but every single one of them is fire.
I just kind of look around at everybody and I was like, I do have to handle dangerous books and other objects on a fairly regular basis at Candlekeep. And well, and then I just kind of like try to mage hand the horn up, like just kind of like pick it up and like pull it away because I don't want to stick my hand over there.
Okay.
Do you need a hand?
I love it.
Granny gets her other mage hand going to help support.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 things happen. So 3 things happen. You are successful. Your mage hand reaches through, grabs the vessel and pulls it back as it is under the weight limit. But at the same time, you are now deep into the Copper Dragon's lair. You are surrounded by incredibly powerful magical items. You've now picked up this Ascendant dragon vessel. And so I need both Zeal and... So Bloodfire, you're going to roll for this, but it has been requested that this is a roll for the Hand of Vecna. So, there we go.
It is ready.
I love this far too much.
Zeal, what did you roll?
You know what? I'm going to put these dice in the Hand of Vecna.
Okay, D100.
A D100? All right.
Yeah, this is more donations have come on in. Thank you, everybody.
You need to re-roll that, buddy. No, get it.
To everyone, yes. Let's see what this does. 13.
With the 13, as you grab the Actually, do you take the vessel from your mage hand, or are you still just holding it in your mage hand?
No. I like pick it up and like I kind of like pull it out.
And mead, and potions of fire breath, and potions of climbing, and potion of dragon majesty. Like, it makes a lot of really powerful stuff. It's not inherently dangerous, depending on what you drink. But at the same time, something happens and you feel like a shiver up your spine.
All I just say is, uh-oh.
And I love that, because what happens is the next phrase you speak becomes true as soon as possible. As you all hear outside the door, as multiple legs are scampering towards you of what might be some very large beast. Bloodfire, what did you roll for Vecna?
Vecna, and I did put the dice in the hand. It did a very bad job of rolling, but I got a 29 at the end of the day.
With a 29, for the next 10 minutes, you can only speak in lies, but all of the lies are exceptionally bad and easy for everybody to detect.
Okay.
Marrow, it is at this point that you come sliding down to rejoin everybody covered in glitter.
I still have the chest.
Okay. They're wearing it like a hat.
There is no fun in the chest.
See, I knew you were up to no good.
I was just being thorough.
No, you were just being Marrow.
Now I am a glittery vampire.
You are the most glittery. You are even more glittery than Bloodfire, who is now half glittery.
Actually, it's more than that. He's got the half glittery, half purple, and he's actually been redoing his makeup on the way down. And now instead of the skull, it's got this like blue fire coming off of it. He says, "Actually, I have a great announcement. I will no longer be known as Bloodfire. I am Vushnari, Stardust, and the Hand of Vecna." And I'm going to thank Lurking Rider for putting that in the chat.
Thank you, chat.
Vushnari means sunshine.
Your glitter is inconsistent. Did we find the item?
Vushnari is going to point at Zeal.
Yeah, I point at the horn on the floor. And it's
Um,
and then I look at Marrow and I'm like, Kara, maybe you should pick it up.
All right, we all know that you're the pansy of the two of us.
Yeah, exactly.
Tara, you pick up the horn, the vessel?
You are a flower.
All right. You pick up the dragon vessel, and because it's fun, I'm going to say you instantly attune to it. And so you now have a legendary dragon vessel. I'll go ahead and put that in chat. As you pick that up and have that moment of attuning to it, Granny, you also remember that there was one more thing you were supposed to do before you left.
Oh, oh, geez. I'm Sweetie. I'm just going to call you Sweetie until I remember the name right now. Let me just get the jug out and put it where it belongs. And so she'll open up the flap to the bag of holding and take out the alchemist jar, and she'll use her mage hand to carry that and place it onto the plinth where the other was.
As it floats through the air.
Assist if I can too.
Vushnari just starts playing Alchemy Jug in Space.
And have you preloaded it with mayonnaise, or do you still need to tell it mayonnaise?
Oh, I thought it just was constantly full of mayonnaise.
Okay.
Actually, no, Vushnari would have, just out of fear of Marrow eating him, and that was his backup plan.
No, because you said it's full of mayonnaise before earlier.
Wait a
so
minute.
that had
What
mayonnaise in
if it needs to weigh exactly as much as the horn? And then we have to figure out how much mayonnaise weighs like a horn. I read a story once.
As Marrow is considering whether he wants to reenact a moment from one of his favorite plays that he's seen of a famous archaeologist who went tomb diving, the jug lands on the plinth and it just sits there for a moment. And then from outside, that the multiple legs that you were hearing earlier, as Zeal has uh-oh'd, get closer and closer and closer, and then the doors burst open, and a huge monstrosity in blue with dozens of little insectoid legs and giant, what look like they might be fans of wings on the side, and a bright red crest running down its back snarls at you with a giant maw filled with sharp, pointy teeth as it all goes, moo.
That was not what I was expecting.
You are an ugly cow.
I would like you to roll a intimidation check.
Me?
Yeah.
Does he get advantage for the glitter?
No.
Not today. 8.
An 8? Okay. What you think might be a huge Remoraz, it looks like it, skitters up to you, Marrow, and the jaw opens into your, right in front of your face and goes, no!
Bad cow.
I go inside of its mouth.
I will eat you from the inside.
Okay. I would like a athletics check.
25.
What you all watch as this thing snarls at your family member, but Marrow just leaps into the mouth of this creature, climbs down its tongue, and Marrow, as you disappear from sight from everybody else, what you realize is this creature is not made out of flesh and blood. It seems to be some kind of metal. You knock on it with your fingers, and as you get down its throat, you actually end up sliding down, and you run into one of the 2 cows that are piloting the inside of this creature. And
This cow is also not filled with fun. I eat the cow.
hey, no, listen, I did not get paid enough for this. No. And the cow rears back, letting go of the
paid.
What?
How much did you get paid?
Not enough to be eaten by you. No. Bessie, come on, we'll leave it. And the 2 of them turn and exit out the back of the cow or out the back of the Remoraz. And what all of you see is the back of the Remoraz flip up like one of those cars with the weird doors that flip sideways.
Mm-hmm.
And
Gullwing doors.
And 2 bipedal intelligent cows walking out. One of them making a rude gesture back inside towards Marrow.
I'm getting a lot of good inspiration from music today.
Brothers, sisters, the cows are escaping from the Miraz anus. We must stop them.
That's a sentence I inspired. I'm super proud of that sentence, everybody. I'm going to claim that sentence as my own. Yeah, we're going to go set off the alarms, and we're going to go get
Oh, no,
you just wait here. Yeah.
Oh,
I
but
killed
see,
them.
if you do that, he's going to be here longer. If you just let us leave, we'll be out of your hair in 5 minutes.
They look back at you and consider it, but they're also halfway out the door and going around a corner.
I'm jumping and I'm going to eat one.
All right, give me an attack roll. What would the rest of you like to be doing while he attacks a cow?
Let me do the normal one.
Performance check.
A performance check for your...
for me just playing some of the new music that's coming to my head.
All right, give me a
Hand of
performance
Vecna
check.
helping out.
First attack is a 22.
That hits.
Next attack is a 19.
That does not.
Whoa, these are fast cows. And then a 24.
That hits.
All right. I am
Less
clawing
It's less
into them.
fast and more... Their hide is actually pretty impressive. Okay, well, this vicious cow attack is happening. Zeal, Kara, Granny.
I metallic breath. Which one is the one that knocks them out? Enervating breath.
Okay, the cows?
Yep.
All right.
Con saves DC 14. And if they fail, they are incapacitated.
The one that Marrow is attacking fails.
It's like rigid and falls forward.
Go to sleep.
The other one succeeds and is going to try to continue to run away. Kara, what are you doing?
Kara's gonna cast Hold Person on Morrow.
Okay.
No.
Morrow, give me your damage on the cow that you've attacked.
That was 14 points of slashing damage.
Total?
Yep.
Okay. You don't quite kill the cow, but you've definitely got a flank stake or two. And then I need you to make a saving throw against Kara. What's that saving throw?
Oh, there is +2 damage to each of those attacks. So
16.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
You got a thicker flank stake, but the cow is still currently incapacitated, but still alive. Kara, what's your saving throw?
12.
All right, Maro, go for it.
And what kind of saving throw is it?
It's going to be a wisdom.
Oh, no. 18.
He resists.
I am not a person. You cannot hold me.
He continues to gnaw on this cow. Granny, what are you doing in this moment?
Granny casts her spiritual weapon to go after the one that isn't. There's one that's still in motion, right?
Yeah, there's one that is run down the hallway.
So she casts her spiritual weapon, which is a rolling pin, and it's gonna start, wailing on the head of the other cow that is in retreat.
Okay, give me an attack roll, because I know once you cast that, you get to attack with it at the same time.
Yep. So that is going to be 14 to hit.
That does not hit.
Oh no!
Your frying pan bounces off the thick hide of this cow. Bloodfire, what was your performance check?
Bloodfire, Vershnari Stardust and the Hand of Vecna rolled a nat 20 for a total of 24 to play The Ballad of the Dragon Cow Wars, parentheses, in space.
I love it. I absolutely love it. This cow that was running away stops at your music, as no one is able to stop it. Granny is not able to pin it with a rolling pin, but at the sweet sounds of your music, as you have created a whole new persona for yourself, it stops and turns around, its eyes get wide, and then drawn to you, unable to resist your electrifying performance, walks back into the room past its friend who is being devoured by Marrow right now, past Zeal, Kara, and Granny, who are trying to stop things, maybe, and straight up to you, eyes wide, mouth agape. That's the most awesome thing I've ever heard in my life.
I just wrote it just now as I was playing it.
That's amazing. How can I help you get out of here? There's no way you can get caught by the rest of them. I can't let such beautiful music go to waste.
Well, I appreciate that, and was completely my intention this whole time. Family, we have a way out in space. Maybe.
Okay.
I will use some of my Celestial Warlock healing light to heal the cow that Marrow is just ripping to pieces, because we're not trying to actually kill everything in here. So that's I'll heal it 3d6. So
okay.
This is amazing. You could always make more meat.
Oh god, I only rolled 5 though for my 3d6.
Marrow, as you get another piece of steak and take a moment to enjoy the flavor, this cow, which has been savaged, heals just enough to scamper away, as Betsy, the friendly cow, who has been completely enamored with Bloodfire's music, walks over to a panel on the wall that none of you had noticed was a false panel until she presses it. And it pops open, and there is a lever there, and she says, get close together in the middle of the room, and I can get you out of here. But they're going to come quick.
Okay.
Vershnari started playing Remorize the Betsy cow.
Do not forget that the cows left the anus of their maras.
And Betsy
get into the room.
pulls the lever, and a very familiar teleportation circle appears on the ground below you, and the leftover mechanical remoras, because it's funny. You vanish. You appear on the top of the hill, just outside of the lair of the ancient copper dragon. Some of you still dripping with blood and gore, some of you having written some new songs, and a mechanical remoraz that you have at your feet. Is there any last things you would like to do, as you have been successful in this mission?
I'm going to use that in my next show. It's going to be a cool
cows?
robot.
You do not have the cows, but you do have the mechanical remoraz that they were piloting.
No, was going to
hold
turn them
up.
into poo.
Hold up the dragon vessel and says, "Who wants strawberry milkshakes?"
I do. Hand of Vecna does too.
Granny is prestidigitating everyone.
You got a little bit of tendon, but that's not good. Hold on just a second, honey.
Thank you. My makeup was impeccable before this.
As Kara holds up this magical vessel, which now I'm going to say canonically makes, what was it, strawberry milkshakes? It now makes strawberry milkshakes, because you know what? If you can make a potion of healing, why can't it make strawberry milkshakes? You all enjoy a celebratory strawberry milkshake standing under the starry skies, having been successful in this mission. I'm going to say congratulations. You won D&D. There you go.
Yeah!
We survived a Tarrasque.
Survived a Tarrasque, an ancient copper dragon, and a whole bunch of traps, and each other.
And Marrow.
And Marrow.
And each
Marrow.
other. Yes.
I'm just happy I survived drawing a card.
Yeah, when you rolled 100, I knew that was going to be a moment. So we have a couple minutes to say thank you to everybody, to let everybody know about what's coming up next. So even though this game is over, the fun on this channel is going to continue. Please check out the Codename Entertainment Extra Life page for all of the donations that you can put towards any of the shows that are coming up in the next hours and hours and hours of awesome entertainment.
This is just the beginning.
This is literally the beginning. This is the beginning. Can we put up that credit screen so that I'm going to thank a bunch of people, and I'm going to grab my other computer real quick. So I would like to thank. Oh, the credits are up. I would like to thank all of the lovely people who are here on the screen. So thank you to thank you to V, Margaret, Todd, Trevor, Dylan, and everybody in the chat for participating in this awesome game. Thank you to Craig Monroe, who is the amazing artist who drew all of the dragon headshots that you saw. Thank you to Eugenio Vargas, aka DM Jesse Hands, who is the amazing producer behind the scenes, making sure that we look and sound as amazing as possible. Thank you to Maddie for coming up with overlays super duper fast, and everybody at Codename Entertainment for all of your assistance in everything and making this happen. Stick around. The next thing that you get to enjoy is Murder at the Flying Haddock.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 which is going to be coming up next. And then after that, there's me. Again, it's the Sketching Hour live edition, where if you donate enough, I will actually draw art. Yay. Anyway, that's what's coming up next. Stick around. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you once again to all of my players. And I think that is everything.
And thank you for that awesome freaking game.
Oh my God.
Thanks, Lauren. Did we thank the mods? I can't remember if we thanked the mods.
Yes, thank you,
Chat
Martin, for moderating for us, and anybody else who comes by and moderates. And look, everybody's coming in to go do the thing. So I got to go. We're going to have a couple of minutes to switch over to the next game, and we'll see you next encounter. Bye.
Take care, darlings.